Sun, beaches, and Latin-inspired flavors are what people around the world call their vacation paradise. We call it home. Welcome to the weekly podcast that captures it all. The Scoop on Miami. Let's discover and rediscover Miami together with Ernie Emad, a 54-year resident of the Magic City, and Miami native Lainey Rada on The Scoop on Miami. And now, here's Ernie Emad and Lainey Rada.
Welcome to The Scoop on Miami. This is episode number 19, and thank you so much for joining us every single week here at Scoop on Miami on Facebook. Will also be a podcast at the end of the day. You can listen to all of our podcasts as well as watch our programs on thescooponmiami.com, on YouTube, as well as find your podcast anywhere, including iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and so on. I am standing alongside my co-host today, and she is Lainey Rada. Good afternoon, Lainey.
Hi, I'm Lainey Rada, Leading Edge Broker Associate with Douglas Elliman.
How was your week?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. And I'm Ernie Emad, the broker owner of One Premier International. We had a great week this week. We visited Lola over at Sweat Records, had a great time. I enjoyed to be around so much vinyl, and that was a great experience. And we also have somebody on the telephone today. Who's that guest, Lainey?
Oh, we have Miguel Zulueta. This guy is just something else. He has the Instagram lifestyle_Miami with 887,000 followers. Quite the influencer. We can't wait to talk to him.
You're absolutely right. We cannot wait to talk to them and reach out to his 800,000 followers that will be exposed to the Scoop on Miami. So we're very grateful for that.
You got to say 887 because
that's almost 900. You're absolutely, that's a big amount.
Even 1,000 is a lot. Yeah, so that's a lot.
We'll take 87,000 followers. Exactly. So I don't want to take away any followers from him. No. You bet. So what is the inspirational quote for today, Lainey?
It's from Charles Kingsley, which I'm not sure who that is, but maybe somebody else knows. All we need to make us really happy is something to be enthusiastic about.
Focus, and we need enthusiasm.
Jump out of bed.
Yes, we do. Hey, by the way, on this day in history, August 7th, 1782, in Newburgh, General George Washington, the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, created the Badge for Military Merit. We now know it as the Purple Heart, and that happened in this day in history back in 1782. And we are also known as the shark capital of the world. Florida is, with New Smyrna being number one on that list. And New Smyrna had a shark bite this week. They also had Miami Beach had a shark bite this week as well. For somebody that goes to the beaches a lot, I'm going to give you my expert opinion to avoid a shark bite. Make sure, because South Florida booties are getting bigger by the day, and so I just want to make sure that you don't shake your booty underwater, specifically if you have a black suit, because not only do they attract sharks, the water types, but the land sharks as well.
Yes.
So keep their booties.
You see what I have to put up with? Only for an hour. Okay.
Well, we spent a couple of hours this week, usually on Wednesdays, but it's just enough, right?
It's just enough.
All right. So talk to us about today's Miami Rewind.
Oh, this is something that you can't miss when you're driving from a distance into downtown, the DuPont building. Very interesting place with it's really great to learn about the person who things are named after, because they've done a lot of impressive things in their life.
So let's go ahead and listen to Lainey Rada's Miami Rewind, the DuPont building here in downtown Miami.
It's time to take a look back with Lainey Rada. Miami Rewind.
There's only one streamlined, modern Art Deco skyscraper in Miami. You can admire the dramatic 17-story Alfred I. DuPont building, built in 1939, right at 169 East Flagler Street. the beautiful Wisconsin limestone and Alabama black granite will draw your attention from down the street. Once inside, the bas-relief brass elevator doors have to be admired. DuPont was born in Delaware in 1864. His great-great-grandfather immigrated from France. His Victorian family had a gunpowder manufacturing company. He had a very dramatic upbringing. Both his parents died when he was 13. He lived through deaths, divorces, family scandals, and sicknesses. He even lost an eye in a hunting accident and was nearly deaf most his adult life. This resilient man went to MIT, where he felt he learned enough to get involved with the family business and run the gunpowder mills. He understood 5 languages. He was a photographer, manufacturer with 200 patents, including the first gasoline-powered locomotive, a pugilist and lifelong friend with Joe Louis, a violinist with 9 published works, and an orchestra he made from friends and his factory workers. He moved to Jacksonville with his 3rd wife. He's an industrialist, a financier, and a philanthropist known for sound banking, transportation, and the paper industry. He was designated as a Great Floridian. A World War II ship was named in his honor. There's only one DuPont family member left. The fortune is still in the billions. His homes in Delaware and Jacksonville are museums, yacht clubs, and one run as a children's medical facility. Learning more about DuPont's accomplished life helps to make sense of what is left standing. This building is one of the top 3 landmarks in Florida. The building replaced the Halcyon Hotel. The construction took 2 years, and the architects were Marsh and Saxelby. It was used as a headquarters for the 7th Naval Fleet in World War II, a top wedding venue in Miami, and an unforgettable event location for corporate celebrations, photo shoots, parties, and every event. There is no comparison to the grandeur anywhere. The most impressive space is the ballroom and the old bank vault on the 2nd floor. The 22,000 square foot space with Tennessee marble floors and marble panels is grandiose. The spectacular 30-foot high hand-painted cypress ceilings are suitable for drone shots. The hand-wrought iron bank teller window makes you recall the past. There's a 2,000 square foot bank vault with an immense 50,000 pound door to walk through. You can dance inside or serve cocktails to 200 people in there as part of your reception. The 6,500 square foot ballrooms lend themselves to anything your imagination or your pocket can afford. If you ever have the opportunity to see the space or get invited there, do not miss it. It's spectacular. That's the scoop.
Lainey Rada's Miami Rewind. We have that every single week. And this week's the DuPont, we were just talking while the segment was playing on where are the people that did so many things in today's world. And on the telephone right now, we have our next guest. And our next guest is Miguel Zulueta, and I'm going to have Lainey introduce him.
Hello, how are you?
I'm making sure you're there. We announced you saying that it's Miguel Zulueta with lifestyle_Miami and your gigantic 887,000 followers. How are you? How do you have time?
I'm very good. very, very excited to be on with you guys. How's it going?
Thank you so much. It's going great. We were looking forward to seeing you and talking to you because there are just so many questions. You make such a big impression, and you're helping the community in a lot of ways, which is something important to talk about. So I don't know what you want to talk about first. Do you want to talk about all your good deeds?
We can talk about whatever you guys would like to talk about.
Well, that's fantastic. So you have 11,000 posts. How long did it take? When did you start your social media explosion?
April 12th, exactly 6 years ago. On April 12th is when I started. April 12th, 6 years ago is when I got started. Mm-hmm. And it's been nonstop ever since.
So tell me a little bit about you, your history, and then what did you do prior to this? And is this your full-time work?
This is absolutely my full-time job, 24/7. This is what I do all day long. And yeah, basically, I'll be honest with you. It started off kind of as a hobby. So the truth is, I had many other pages. I had a dog page. I had a humor page. I had a health page. I had a football page. I had a soccer page. So early on, I kind of figured, I think social media is going to be important. But I realized, how do I target different audiences? So I said, you know what? Let me make a page with different, with different target audiences. With dogs is universal. It doesn't matter what language you speak. People love dogs. Food is the same thing. But Miami was always my passion and my baby. I was born and raised in Miami.
All right.
And it's also been the hardest one to grow. Maybe somebody across the globe might not really, might never have come to Miami or might not relate with what's going on in Miami.
Right.
So definitely Miami has been the most challenging to grow. That's kind of how it started. It started as a hobby and it became a full-time job and my full-time passion, really.
That's so interesting that it was hard to grow. I find that, because Miami is so famous around the world. So what do you think made it hard? Do you think it was the content or, like you said, that people maybe can't relate to how unusual it is here?
Yeah, well, I think, as I mentioned a minute ago, I think when we're talking about dogs or food, it's kind of a universal language. Soccer, it's a universal language. So Miami was hard to grow just because, it's hard to find a lot of good content.
Okay.
At the end of the day, there's a lot of cute dogs around the world, for example. So with Miami, believe it or not, it's hard to find good content, even though every day it gets easier because
you make it look easy. Yes, definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, but people send us things all day long, all day long, and there's always something exciting or fun or funny or crazy going on around here.
Yes, crazy.
Including spotting someone riding their bicycle with a helmet in their balcony.
Yeah, I know that one.
That was yesterday.
Yes,
that was yesterday. That was an interesting one for sure. Yeah,
So-
we see all types of things.
Yes. Do you have a group of people that are followers that help you with this, or how'd you connect with the people that help you with your contribution to
Right. So I realized early on, I'm not, Miami has a lot of amazing photographers. Miami has a lot of amazing videographers or artists or just talented people in general. I realized I didn't necessarily have those talents, so to speak. So I started to think, how can I incorporate myself and help those that are talented? So what I started doing is I kind of realized early on that, okay, let me build a platform where they can feature their work. A good photographer is good at doing photography. He might not have, 8 hours a day to spend on social media. So, fortunately, I do have 8 hours a day. So what I did is I stayed working on the back end and growing the followers and growing the content. And I started featuring different videographers, different photographers. And slowly people just started sending me things saying, hey, can I come out on your page? So
Great.
I realized, okay, I can be this platform for all these talented photographers and videographers. And then it just happened naturally where people started sending me crazy things that were happening in Miami.
You do have the craziest things. It's entertaining to follow you. That's a really great. That's a great message because it's like you can go further together than alone, and you've embraced all these people's talent and supported them, so they support you back. It goes together. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Without a doubt. And then basically from there, it just grew into a community. I call Lifestyle Miami a community page, really by the community.
Yes.
So, without the community, I'm not able to do it. And then it just grew into a whole different monster, right? Our community events. We do a ton of community events.
I know.
And it's great because you actually meet these people. I've become better friends with people that I've met through my page than some people that I grew up with.
Right.
So it's actually it's pretty interesting, and then together, everybody has their passions, everybody has things that they want to work on. So we're very quickly able to make groups and attack certain issues around the city that need to be addressed in a quick manner. For example, beach cleanups. Mm-hmm. We used to get charged a lot of money to clean the beaches. Why? They would charge us a park fee. Mm-hmm. They would charge it. They wanted us to get cops. They wanted us to pay for permits. Mm-hmm. So we're here bringing a couple hundred people out to clean, but we're being charged by the city. So that's an issue because that basically discourages people from wanting to clean up. People are saying, okay, then I'm not going to clean up because I'm not going to spend $800 for me and my group to go clean when we're trying to get back. So we worked hand in hand with the city to start waiving all those fees and a better line of communication so that when other groups want to do this, they don't have to pay those fees either. And long term, the idea is to slowly, leave our impact and give back. Beach cleanups are one of the things we do. Mm-hmm. Miami, a lot of people don't like to talk about it. Miami has a bit of a homeless issue, mm-hmm. And nobody helps these people. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. There is a lot of programs that help these people, but there's just not enough resources.
I know.
So we once or twice a month, for sure once a month, sometimes twice a month, we bring out a shower truck. We bring out barbers. We collect clothes throughout the month. We get warm food so basically they get a shower, they get a haircut, they get clean clothes, they get warm food. We'll take a medical staff out there that'll give them a basic checkup, HIV checks and all that. So, little by little, we try to make it more than an Instagram page and, mm-hmm. and truly give back to the community that's given me so much.
That is so inspiring. And that's one of the reasons that we like to broadcast the people in our community is to help all the others and to inspire them to help other people. I was wondering about what the engagement that you think you get with your contest. Like you have a contest right now if somebody spots your car that you have wrapped, right?
Right.
So do you get where do you get like the most excitement that people engage with you from which thing that you do?
Okay, so that's a good question, actually. Wow, that's a good question. So, we do a lot. With sometimes, for example, this week we're giving a generator. Every single week during hurricane season, we give away a generator. Mm-hmm. That always gets people excited. Every once in a while, I'll have one of my clients. They'll sponsor what we call a Cash App giveaway. Okay. So we actually will spend the day sending people Cash Apps. It can be $5, $10, $15.
Right.
It just depends on the budget we have for that day. Those always do well. Mm-hmm. And the free gas. So basically, when you spot the lifestyle mobile, if you just take a video or a picture and you DM it to me, I would literally pull over and fill your gas tank up with gas. That's a big one. People really, really enjoy that.
Those are the littlest things that everyone always needs gas. That just doesn't change.
Well, there's no question that you're a great marketer, without a doubt. And one of the things that we really like about what you're doing is you're forging relationships, which are so important in today's world.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I agree. Without a doubt.
What do you do? I have never, I think I've only seen maybe once or twice because I've been following you for a long time. And I was wondering how you handle negative responses.
Right. So, listen, it happens a lot. Mm-hmm. Even when we do beach cleanups, we have people that will complain. So what I've learned is, and when I had started, I used to take it very in a bad way because I used to say, man, why would somebody say that? Like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. As the page grows, you grow to realize you're never going to please 880,000 plus people. Not everybody's always going to agree. Mm-hmm. So we do have people on social media, and it's the truth. People can be very nasty on social media,
Yeah, they're hiding behind the screen. There's no way to see them.
They can
no accountability.
Exactly. No accountability. They can create an account and just say the nastiest, meanest things. Yeah. So we definitely have a policy where we try. We don't tolerate that. So we actually every once in a while we'll make posts reminding our following that we do not tolerate that, and that if they do see those comments, to please direct message them to us so we can remove and block those people. Naturally, when you have so many, some of them slip through the cracks.
Sure.
But it's definitely part of the full-time job, right? Making sure that we're providing a safe environment and a positive environment for our listeners and our readers. The good thing is, the bad guys, the ones that like to cause trouble, when you start doing so much good in the community, they usually just move on to somebody else and leave you alone eventually.
Okay, that's good to know.
But it is a full-time job. It's part of the full-time job to to make sure that we're providing a safe environment and a fun environment and a positive environment for our followers.
And some people say it's good to have haters because that's when you know you're getting somewhere.
Oh, you know it. Yeah, we don't lack on those. We don't lack on those. But yeah, and look, sometimes the key is engaging them and sending them a direct message and saying, "Hey, listen, what's bothering you? Why do you?
Never
why would
know.
you say that?" And believe it or not, many times you end up coming to an understanding, and they say, "Hey, it's pretty cool that you even answered, and I apologize, whatever." And
Great.
and I say, "Listen, I understand." And the truth is, we're all going through something. Every single one of us has our own issues. So I think it's important to be compassionate and understand that sometimes when people react a certain way or say a certain thing, there's really a lot more going on there than just that negative comment.
That's great. You can take the time once in a while to connect. That's fantastic.
Miguel, let me ask you a quick question. When you started to do your research about social media, why did you choose Instagram compared to all the other platforms?
Okay, so we did have Facebook at the beginning, and it was basically Facebook or Instagram. So I chose Instagram just because I took a chance and I said, listen, pictures and videos, I feel like that's going to be a lot more content. A lot more content is going to be involved with that. And what a lot of people don't know is when Instagram opened, it was kind of like the Wild Wild West. For example, when Instagram opened, I was, me or yourself, you can literally follow 10 million people if you wanted. So what happened? A lot of people were following millions of people. And let's say I followed 10 million. Well, in 20 days, that person that followed 10 million had over 1 million followers. So those people were becoming overnight millionaires. Because if you have, 60,000 T-shirts to sell and you follow 10 million people and 1 million follow you back, there's a very high chance that you're going to sell those 60,000 T-shirts very quick. And I noticed that. Now, by the time I actually opened on Instagram caught on to that trick. And they put limits, they put blocks. So from being able to follow unlimited people, you can only follow 7,500 people now.
Okay.
So there's limits. They limit you to how much you can grow, how many people you can follow. But yeah, that's the reason why I had chosen Instagram, because I realized a lot of people, wow, these people are following millions of people. A couple of weeks later, they have 1 million followers themselves. And they're able to sell their products or whatever it is that they're selling. So that's why I chose that. Unfortunately, Instagram changed the rules very quick, and I wasn't able to do that method. So
it seems like they're trying to control capitalism, right?
Yeah, and they want you to spend money with them. If everybody were to get 1 million followers overnight, then they have their own networks, they have their own avenues of promoting. Right. Yeah,
they
exactly.
Own it.
They have their
make
own
the rules.
Right. So they quickly realized that and they capped it. It's one of the very frustrating and pretty, to tell you the truth, scary things with Instagram is that it's still a free application. So it's impossible to get a hold of Instagram through the phone. There's no customer service line. Everything is through email. Now we have to take into consideration how many people are emailing Instagram a day. Right. We have to take into consideration we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So for X, Y, and Z reason, anyone, not just myself, anyone can lose their page at any second, any moment. Okay. And it's scary, right? Because you invest, a big portion of your life into this, and the reality is that you can violate a rule or unwillingly or unknowingly, and they can shut down your page. And then what do you do? What do you do from there? So it has a lot of pros, but it also has some cons.
Sure.
And one of the cons is that it is a free application, so you really have to be careful and really walk a fine line so that you don't violate any rules unintentionally and then get your page shut down.
Right. I know we're supporting Lifestyle Miami today, but don't you have a couple other pages that do you have anything else right now?
Yeah, well, we have a backup page called Miami Certified.
Okay.
It's called Miami Certified. That's a little bit more of the wild side of Miami. Some things that maybe exactly what we were just talking about having to walk a fine line.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things that I don't post or I will not post because I don't want to risk violating.
Okay.
I don't want it to be too graphic or too wild or too crazy. So we have a page called Miami Certified that we put, some of the crazier side of Miami. We also work with, we're working with a lot of different foundations. One of them is called the Kids of the Light. It's in Spanish, Los Niños de la Luz. So we're handing out boxes of food Monday through Friday.
That's keeping you really busy. I know.
Yeah. Yesterday we did 2,400 boxes. The day before we did 1,750 or 1,750.
Fantastic.
Monday we resume again. So if you guys know anybody or any families in need that need free food, they can go on my page and they will see the information and where they can pick it up. And if they can't pick it up, we can always arrange for us to get the boxes to them.
That's great.
And the idea is to keep helping the community during these extremely difficult times.
Yes.
And that's what we're here for.
Well, I really commend you for, you're really handling a lot with just, what's your page is about, but to give all this back to the community and always stay effective and connected, it's really kind of you, and it says a lot about who you are.
Thank you very much. I feel it's kind of a moral obligation, right, that I have.
That's nice.
I've been so blessed. I've been so blessed, and I speak to so many people every day that it's kind of, it's really my passion, and it really fills me, and it really brings me happiness. So I'm happy to do it.
That's great.
Miguel, let me ask you a question, because in today's world, there's a lot of people that are going to be making changes in their own lives. What kind of advice can you give someone that is thinking about launching an Instagram account or business or exposure through social media? What kind of advice can you give them?
I would advise them to make sure they really have the passion. Also, don't be afraid to do it. We all started at zero, be consistent. Don't be afraid. Have the passion for it. And always remember, it sounds silly, but just how we want, just how I want likes and comments and messages, so do people. So engage, and really engage and really try to pay attention. A lot of times we're so focused on our own business and on our own product that we forget that so is everybody else. So take a moment to see what other people are doing and try to really understand their product and visit their pages.
That's great.
Fantastic advice.
Yeah, all those things and try to see the hard work that they're putting in and ask them questions, even if they're not related to your product, because it shows that people really appreciate that. Just asking somebody else, so how did you start or how did you get into this? Just how you guys are doing with me today, it inspires me to keep going because I say, wow, when I started, I had zero. So it's the same way. So just passion, consistency, and really engaging with others, and at your own pace. Sometimes we look around and we say, wow, well, this person has this many numbers and I don't have as much, so I might never get there. Don't have that mentality, because what's for you is for you and at your pace and at your time. And if you have the passion and the heart and the consistency, and you're doing it for the right reasons, you're going to get there.
That's such nice advice to give. It's very simple, but very direct.
Right.
And I love Instagram. I happen to be the biggest fan of Instagram anyway, and I think it's so fantastic that even today that we can't travel, for example, that it brings the whole world together, and it's so artistic. I just think it's a great platform. And I know you,
No,
I
without a
know you
doubt.
agree because you're a big part of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally agree.
Fantastic. Look, is there anything else that we may have failed to ask, or any upcoming events or anything special that you want to tell our listeners and viewers?
Thank you. No, basically that Monday through Friday, we will be handing out boxes of food to families who need it. These boxes have protein like chicken and milk and cheeses and butters and fruits and vegetables. So that's available Monday through Friday. You can get the information on my Instagram page. Also, we're giving away a generator every single week during hurricane season. Today I'm announcing a winner. Next Friday I'm announcing another winner. We run those contests from Monday through Friday as well. And basically, whoever has any questions or might want to ask me anything about Instagram, or maybe any local business who is local to Miami, if they want free promotion on my page, just feel free to reach out, message me, and I would gladly provide free promotion and try to send customers their way. And basically, we're here to help each other.
Yeah, that's so great. And thank you so much for your time. You're just doing so much and helping everyone. It's just fantastic to know there's still people like you giving back.
Thank you so much for having me, and I will hope to speak with you guys again very, very soon.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much, Miguel. You have yourself a great weekend and continue all that great work.
Thank you so much. God bless. Thank you.
Same here. That's fabulous, right? Hey, don't forget that you can go to scooponmiami.com, where we'll have a link to Miguel's Instagram and his pages, and where you can even suggest any families in need so they can receive a box of food. And this is not a small little box of food. You've got a full meals.
Quality
it's
food.
quality stuff. So that is absolutely a fantastic thing, correct?
Yes.
Well, that's guest number one. We still have a great guest, and that's Sweat Records coming right up. We also have Lainey Rada's 305's Hidden Treasure, and that's all happening on the Scoop on Miami.
I'm Lainey Rada, a leading edge broker associate with Douglas Elliman. I have over 35 years of experience in market cycles to bring to every transaction, and I'm still alive. When you want to see how I sell 85% of my listings and the average agent sells 40%, we need to talk. I break records, the fastest sale, the most offers, the highest price per square foot. Which one do we want to accomplish? My company includes superior quality marketing to enhance your property and the worldwide exposure, which matters in Miami. If you want to buy, I'm a Miami native. I know the area extremely well. Put my negotiating skills to work. I'm the only Lainey Rada in the world, so it's easy to find me. But I'll help you. My phone number is 305-710-8558. That's 305-710-8558. Let's set up a time to talk.
With hundreds of brokerages, thousands of agents, how do you cut through all the noise? One Premier International Realty, a boutique real estate brokerage located in Coral Gables, doing business the old-fashioned way, putting people first. Buying, selling, or leasing residential and commercial properties in Miami-Dade, Broward, and Monroe counties? One Premier International provides each customer a high level of service and communication experience with full-time agents from around the world bringing their unique sense of business skills and a foreign customer base. One Premier International Realty. You've heard of private banking. Now experience private brokerage, a higher level of service and knowledge. One Premier International Realty, 305-669-0233, or go online to www.onepremierinternational.com.
We're back with more of the Scoop on Miami. Find our podcast on iTunes and on YouTube as a video, our Facebook page, and the scooponmiami.com. While there, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our podcast channel. And now, here's Ernie Enad and Lainey Rada.
All right, we're back. And welcome back to the Scoop on Miami, where you can find us on scooponmiami.com, on iTunes, and on YouTube. What do you have going this weekend?
This weekend? Oh, I haven't even thought about this weekend yet.
Oh, my goodness. We're so far away from it.
I'm busy. Yeah.
Well, that is good. Hey, look,
And what do you have this weekend? Okay, go ahead.
what do I have this weekend? I've got some showings
Yeah, exactly. We're
tomorrow. So
working.
we're working,
Yeah.
right? We work 7 days a week. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you. Almost 50 years of combined experience.
More than.
More than. Talk to us about our next guest, Lainey.
Oh, this was really fun. This was actually a selfish choice to get together with Sweat Records. Sweat Records is an institution here for vinyl music. We got to go over to the store, so you can see some of the pictures of it. And we got to meet Lola Reskin and her partner, Emily, that is taking care of this fantastic place. Lola was destined to be a record nerd. She grew up in a musical family. Her grandmother, Joan Field, was a pioneering female violin soloist. Her grandfather, Alan Reskin, originally opened Allegro Music House in Coral Gables in 1961, which I know anybody growing up here went there for everything that you needed musically. And her father, Chaz Reskin, is a professional trumpet player and composer. It's also worth mentioning that Lolo is the great niece of Alan Freed, the infamous 1950s radio DJ and music promoter who coined the phrase rock and roll and fought racial segregation. She grew up next door to Miami's legendary Hot Wheels skating rink. She's a native, which imparted in her the power of records. In high school, she began street repping for labels and booking, DJing, promoting indie nightclubs. And she started her music career in 1999, spending 6 years at Miami's Virgin Megastore. That she left there and opened Sweat in 2005. And since she's played many roles in the community, she's an organizer, an interviewer, a panelist, a host of Art Loft on South Florida's PBS for 3 seasons, and as an alum of Miami Fellows and Radical Partners. She currently runs Sweat. She also has a Sweat record label. She serves as a governor on the Recording Academy and the Florida Chapter Board and programs custom background music playlists with the boutique firm Soundry. So you get to see her now and see inside the store and know a little bit more about her and what's going on there.
So let's go right to Sweat Records now in the little Haiti section of Miami. Welcome to the Scoop on Miami. My name is Ernie Emat, and I'm the broker owner of One Premier International Realty. And I'm standing alongside my co-host today.
I'm Lainey Rada, leading edge broker associate with Douglas Elliman, and we're here at this really special place with Lola Reskin, the owner of Sweat Records. We're on 55th and Northeast 2nd Avenue, the oldest street in Miami, and we look forward to hearing all about this successful business that's been here and has a great following.
You know, it's incredible because when Lainey told me that we were coming here, my smile is popping right outside my mask. I'm so excited being a DJ and vinyl junkie throughout my growing years, having a Techniques turntable and direct drive to make sure they would start right on cue, correct? And so it was so exciting to go back in time to know that in 2020 there's such a demand, and with 15 years. Welcome to the Scoop on Miami.
Thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much. So why don't we get started from the beginning? Tell me a little bit about you.
Sure, I'm a Miami native, born, raised, and stayed here, and I love the city. I love the people in it. I love the weather. Can't imagine living anywhere else. And in my teen years, I sort of had these restless rumblings that I just really wanted Miami to have the record store of my dreams. So after many different hats in the music industry, working in corporate retail and being a DJ and a booker and a club promoter and a street rep for record labels, I got together with friends and we opened this place up, March 2005.
And you co-own this place with a partner. Tell us about her.
Sure. My original co-founder, Sarah, she was studying for the bar exam at the time, and now she's an incredible legal advocate and successful lawyer in her own right. She bowed out many years ago, and thankfully one of my oldest friends, Emily Milgram, came on board in 2011. She's my co-owner. She's an amazing musical mind. She's the music buyer here. She's helping us during quarantine run our web store to an amazing degree, and I can't do this without her.
That's fantastic. Lainey?
That's so nice. I wanted to ask how you acquired this collection, because I see you have old, new, a lot of different varieties of music. So how would you say that you started? Did you start with something as large as this?
Well, as you know, the music industry changes quite frequently. So actually, when we opened, we were about 50-50 CDs and records. This was 2005. Over time, the demand for CDs has gone like this, and the demand for records has gone like this. And basically, all our new stuff, we work with many distributors all over the world who work with labels and pressers all over the world to get these really cool, interesting, rare pieces, as well as reissues of all the most popular music like Radiohead and, anything that's on the radio right now is on vinyl. And then the used stuff, we just constantly buy collections. People know we buy records, and we've been buying stuff for so long, and we have a couple warehouses with even more stuff that we can't fit in the store right now. So we're always just pricing it, cleaning it, appraising it, putting it out on the floor for a fair price.
Okay,
That's fantastic. Actually, if you have a family member that passes on and you're looking where this collection should go to, you should give you a call.
Yes, or you can also purchase a turntable from us so that you can enjoy your family members' records in the comfort of your own home and keep them as a treasured family item.
That's a great idea.
Yes, I know. I thought about that, because the other thing is that you don't just have records here. You also do have CDs and cassettes, and also a lot of memorabilia and some, things to really make your collection complete if you're a fan of a certain musician.
Yeah, absolutely. We like to say that right now is one of the best times in history to be into vinyl and a fan of records, because not only does everything new come out in a beautiful packaged vinyl, but almost everything great that ever came out is being reissued lovingly with the original artwork, high quality sound remastered tracks, and in a beautiful package. Sorry, my mask keeps slipping. I haven't talked in this one so much. But yeah, as you can see, we have everything from like African jazz to Brazilian bossa nova. We have our Adele and our Billie Eilish and everybody who's on the radio, every soul album, every electronic album. It's pretty great. I mean, it's amazing that, no matter what you like, you can go find the stuff you love on vinyl.
So with your background, with some interesting history of music, what instrument do you play?
The true musical talent in my family, which is very true. My dad went to Juilliard. My grandmother was a violin soloist. That skipped me. I was an okay guitar player for a few years. The world didn't need more okay guitar players. But I'm great at promoting music. I'm great at telling people about bands and spreading the word about different things and producing events, which over the years, Sweat's produced over 800 events, which is crazy to think about.
That's great.
We've thrown block parties and theater shows and punk shows and tons of all ages stuff, and that's really important to us. We do have a stage there when it's not being used to process orders, and when it's not a pandemic, we host all ages events, because we really believe that for the youth of South Florida, it's very important for them to have a safe space where they can go that's not like alcohol driven specifically, where they can see bands, see a show, be inspired, and connect with their peers.
Yes, I know. There's a lot of pictures. You have a lot of online presence, and you can see all the events that happen here, and they are really varied, which is really nice because it helps people learn a lot about the music. Is there some genre that you happen to like the most?
I think that's an impossible question as somebody who owns a shop, because I have artists and pockets of genres that I love across so many different kinds of music. I'm sure people can look it up. The front of our store is a big wall of some of our musical heroes, and it's a very wide variety. There's David Bowie, there's Prince, but there's also French singer Serge Gainsbourg, who we're huge fans of, and underground rapper MF Doom. So, we have a lot of different influences and inspirations: Grace Jones, Johnny Cash, Bjork, Billie Holiday. So, we don't think it makes sense to dislike any kind of music based on a genre. I think there's good things in almost every genre that people should feel comfortable exploring.
Is there something that's hard to find, that you've ever found hard to find?
Certain releases here and there still haven't been reissued yet, and those are things that are track downable now that we have the internet, and there's different sites like discogs.com and ebay.com where people still look and sell rare records. So, we all have our little wish lists. Most of the things are findable these days. There's not too many things where I've just never found a copy.
Oh, good.
One of the things is there's a listening station here. So actually you can listen to them before you take them home. Is that right?
Yeah, for our used records, you absolutely
Correct.
can, because they're already open. So
Right.
we're happy to let people, gently sample them on our turntables. The new stuff, that any of that can be pulled up on Spotify or YouTube. So we don't let people open them, because
Right.
once you drive it off the lot, it's a used item. So it's the same principle there. So yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people, most of our customers come in educated and knowing what they want to get, but they also do take the time to browse and explore. And I definitely always see people looking up on their phones, like they read a sticker on a record that maybe has some interesting facts or references an artist they love, and so I see them pulling it up so that they can check it out or whatnot.
I know I asked you a question while we were setting up about what is the average age of your customer, and I was pretty surprised at the amount of young people as well that are turned on to vinyl. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. Most people, even if you're not a music person, will have seen in popular culture that there is this big renaissance of vinyl. If you look in ads, like I saw literally a Chanel ad with someone wearing the bracelet putting the needle on the record, right? And it's in movies, and it's all over the place. So, vinyl is having this renaissance, but the younger generations, they've never had a physical music collection. And we like to say that, one important element to music is a little bit of rebellion. And what's more rebellious in the digital age than buying giant analog pieces of vinyl? So we think it's awesome. And then they get the whole tactile experience, they get the artwork big, and they get to really experience the album as the artist that they love intended them to experience it.
Which is exactly correct. Absolutely.
What I see, you have a really fantastic picture of Iggy Pop on the wall, and it's bigger than life size. But what celebrities and people? I think there must be a really big draw here for people like that. Has he been here?
Oh yeah, Iggy Pop's our store uncle. He's Tio Iggy. And so Tio Iggy's been really great. He's helped us with stuff over the years. We've helped him with stuff over the years, which we've been honored to do. We helped throw the Miami premiere of the documentary he was in called American Valhalla about his post-pop depression project. And before the screening on Miami Beach Cinematheque, I did an hour-long Q&A with him and asked him all these questions about his life in Miami and different things that I'd never heard him really talk about publicly. So that was amazing. He shot 2 of his last music videos here for Love's Missing and James Bond off of his last album, Free. And yeah, we can't say enough nice things about him. He's the best and one of our favorite Miamians and people of all time. And yeah, we have had a lot of people in here through the years. J Balvin shot a thing here not that long ago, the reggaeton star.
I actually went to his concert last year. It was in the AAA.
Yeah. So he came here and did a whole day shoot, super elaborate, as part of a promotion for his music. So that was really great to be able to host him. He thought our store was super cool. So we love that. And yeah, we've had a lot of amazing people walk through our doors.
And a big shout out to Groove and Bean. We were we did a 2-hour special in Overtown, and they had vinyl on their walls, some spectacular old blues and soul albums. So
they said they have to keep a close eye on it. So
Right,
nobody
yeah,
takes
those
it.
grabby hands.
Yes.
I understand that.
I wanted to ask you about being the governor of the Recording Academy. What does that entail? How did you get to do that?
Sure. The Recording Academy, the Grammys' overarching organization, is a nonprofit. They do tons of amazing work through their Music Cares initiative, through their Grammy advocacy that lobbies on behalf of laws that are, help creators get compensated fairly, and so many other details. And I've been a governor on their Florida chapter board. There's 14 chapters around the country in different markets. We're Florida and Puerto Rico. And so I've been a governor for about 10 years. I'm actually the current secretary on the board. And we do a lot of work around the national initiatives. And then we also have localized stuff that we do, such as events for the P&E wing, which is the producer and engineer wing, for all the technical folk. We have, mixers and different, career development things. And then a lot of Grammy U, which is the high school, college aged, people interested in joining the music industry or people that are artists themselves. So
that's great.
It's really great to work with them. We support a lot of other organizations and initiatives through it. I love being a part of it, and they've done so much during the pandemic with Music Cares to support musicians.
Good.
Well, you're definitely very community active, and you really embrace the community. I know you've been here 38 years. You were born in Miami, and you feel the same way we do about Miami because you love Miami. And one of the great things is your knowledge of music, and that involvement, over 800 events and so forth, pays to your longevity.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I mean, again, it kind of comes back to the people. If there weren't like so many amazing people here that really appreciate what we do, like we wouldn't be doing it. But there's so many fans. We get like handwritten letters. We get like amazing feedback from people saying that they love the store, that it's been a part of their life at this point. We get, notes from people saying who are away at college now, saying that every time they come back home, they have to come visit us, or it's not a trip home. So, those sort of things, aren't things that like physically make us money, but they like make us so happy that it really helps us continue our missions.
Yeah, and
especially if you have, if you're a baby boomer like I am, and you have millennial kids, what a wonderful experience to bring them here to experience exactly how we purchased our music back in the days. We were talking about, specs and peaches and vibrations and all of these
Virgin,
places.
Where she got her legs.
Which was, it was just, you could spend hours in those places, and I think it's a better experience than sitting in front of a computer searching for music. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. We definitely like to say that people should come on record store dates, and that's either like a date or bring your nephew, your niece, your kid, your friend. It's such a great place to just sort of like have a little communal experience, because music's universal and you can always have a conversation around it. Like you're flipping through, wow, what's this? Wow, what a cool font. Like whatever it is, like it can spark all kinds of interesting connections between people, and we love that.
So I see you have a little bit about everything, including a kitchen sink. Do you serve some kind of beverages while people are here shopping?
So pre-COVID, we had a coffee bar.
Beautiful.
And originally we started it because there weren't a lot of vegan options around. We knew a lot of vegans, and so we wanted to have soy and almond milk and things like that. But nowadays, any old place has cashew milk and oat milk and everything. And with COVID, it just is kind of, it wasn't something we wanted to continue doing, so we sunsetted our coffee service. But we have a nice cooler full of yummy drinks. We sell a lot of like materva and jupinha and bubble water and whatever. So
I love materva. It's very close to guaraná from Brazil.
And if you could give our listeners some business tips or advice, just because everybody would like to continue to go through this, and it's been so challenging. And just to know what's something that you brought up, like as far as like your web presence, what would somebody do to try to get exposure today, or what do you think is a good suggestion?
My suggestion from always is that as a small business, especially one that's just independent and right there in their community, you have to be adaptable. We adapted when our customers wanted more vinyl and fewer CDs. We adapted when our customers wanted to drink coffee while they were browsing our records. We've adapted thousands of times. Sometimes, just from minute to minute even, this new policy will serve us better. This is the new policy. So that's one of the best things about being a small business, is the agility to be able to do those sort of things.
That's right.
And for businesses now, it's really about letting your community know who you are and how you're there to help them and what you offer them as best and authentically as you can. People know that not only can they come here for records, they can come here for advice on, what turntable they should get, or, a recommendation on something new that maybe they haven't heard. So we do offer a lot of different intangible sort of bonuses, and our customers know that we're always working on different ways that we can help them.
I like something that you just said, because small businesses have the ability to turn on the dime, correct, and be able to make those moves. It's just the inability of some business owners not acting on those or second guessing themselves. And you're moving right on with making those decisions that have turned to be profitable and good decisions.
The only constant is change, so best not to fight it. We are happy to change. We love it. We embrace it. One of the things we're thankful for is that last year we built an online shop, because we just saw that
last year.
And so we didn't have to rush
and
when we had to shut our doors for the first time in a decade this March. So and that was, we had started building it partly because Miami's such a transitive city with people moving in and out, that we had so many friends in other states who said, we still want to support you.
Oh, good.
So not only did we create our web store, but we also launched a little page on this platform called With Friends, which is sort of a Patreon for small alternative event spaces and small organizations.
Okay.
So basically, even if you don't buy vinyl, for $3.05 a month, you can support the store, and it really helps us. And we've got like 60 supporters right now.
And the
we're trying to grow
305.
that. 305 level.
I love that.
We have more levels too, and if people want to get a record selection a month from us, we have that option, because that's another thing we've had people ask us for, and now people love it. Someone actually told me the other day, it's like Columbia House back in the day, but someone who knows me is
Yes.
picking out cool records for me. So
Oh, that's
we love all
great.
these sort of things, and they're working.
And where is that platform? It's called With Friends, and how can people find it?
Sure, right on the front page of our website, there's a link to our With Friends page. It's withfriends.com, and it's like /Sweat Records /join, but you can find it if you just look up Sweat Records with Friends. We would really love any support. It all really, really helps us and goes directly to our operations.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Lainey, do you have
Anything
anything
else?
else? So, yep. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah, man.
Is there anything else that we may have failed, as well as upcoming events and upcoming promotions, your hours of operations, telephone number, and so forth?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that's huge in the vinyl community is Record Store Day, which is an international holiday that was created over a decade ago. And every April, all these exclusive releases come out by everyone from the Rolling Stones to, kind of obscure independent artists. And only independent stores that fit a criteria can order these pieces. So they're very limited. People line up around the block in the morning we open that day to get them. And because we're not trying to do crowds this year, they've split those into 3 release dates in August, September, and October. So we're calling they're calling them RSD drops. So we're going to be hosting the 3 RSD drops this fall, and letting people have access to these exclusive records in a very socially distanced and safe way.
Sure, great.
And then throughout the week, we've reduced our hours. Masks are mandatory, but we're still open noon to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. And that also is a time when people who order stuff from our website and choose curbside pickup can come by and grab their bags. So that's what we have going on over there. And we are at 5505 Northeast 2nd Avenue, Miami, Little Haiti, right next to Churchill's Pub, which has been there since 1979. And when we first started out, it was great to be next door to such a landmark, because we could always say, oh, you know Churchill's? We're next door. So that was convenient. Our phone number is 786-693-9309. We're reachable all kinds of different ways. We're on social media at Sweat Records everywhere. We're most active on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and we regularly post updates. And, every Friday's new release day, we always post a selection of what we've got, hitting the floors. A lot of the pieces are limited, so we have people that come like every Friday at noon to flip through. But now all that stuff's also available online on our website, and we're just hustling records as much as we can through all this, because we're going to
great.
make it through.
It's great.
No
And
question.
Yes, we wish you the best success, for sure.
you so much.
And it's great to share that with people, that you've been so adjustable. Like you said, the agility is really important.
Absolutely.
In my office, I'm always pitching embrace change, because it's always changing, like you said. I don't know if we got the information. Where did Sweat Records, the name, come from?
Oh,
Sure. So it's got a couple meanings.
Okay.
Miami, it's hot, it's sweaty. My best friend Sarah, that I originally started the store with, we used to go to yoga together a lot, get sweaty. And then you could also use it like, I'm sweating that new Billie Holiday record I got so hard. So, there's a few ways you can use it. And we just wanted a weird name.
Yeah.
And one that stuck in people's heads, and it's been perfect ever since. And funnily, we started a record label a couple years ago when Miami got a pressing plant again. And of course, we had to call it Sweat Records Records. So we've got 4 releases out, and 5th one coming out this month.
Wow, that's fantastic. From local artists.
Yep, local artists. And
And-
we've gotten some great national press for them. So,
And you can purchase those records right here.
yep, and on our websites.
okay.
Fantastic.
I think that's it.
Great. Well, thank you for being on the Scoop
Thank
on
you.
Miami. It's been a pleasure. This is going back in time, and it's just a wonderful experience. Brings back great childhood memories.
Thanks so much.
Okay, we are back. What a wonderful time we had Wednesday there at Sweat Records, and I was sweating, loving to getting over there. And it's just a blast in the past, and just to fumble through some of those albums, and it was just a good time.
Yeah, she's just so knowledgeable. You just can't miss going there, because you don't need to know anything else. One of the things that she showed me is an album. It's the first music to ever come out of Djibouti. It's incredible that the things that they have gotten their hands on. So to have something that no one else has is very unique. And then they have their contest, and of such an eclectic collection of everything that you can think of, and it's really organized. They have really great compilations of people that have been in the history of the recording artists that have visited here in Miami. Some people we've talked about in our history segments. So they just don't miss a thing there. It's a fantastic business. And I think today we had these two dynamic people that are giving back to the community, helping, and why we're going to support them, and also gave really good personal advice on their success.
Yes, you bet. They sure did. And again, we're all going through this pandemic. And like Lolo said, right, we're constantly changing, constantly evolving. And although we think about these things, we actually have to do it. We have to take action, not just think about them. But those are the differences.
Yeah, and one of the things that I saw today is about ordering food. And I thought it was really a nice idea. We miss actually sitting in the ambiance of the restaurant and having, the guests around you and the plates served to you. And one of our guests last week mentioned Kathy from Lotus Garden was talking about that her customer said that her food travels well. And you don't really think about that except for if you've been ordering and sometimes you get something and by the time you get home or it gets sloppy or falls apart or whatever. So I read today there were two restaurants that really, really great restaurants, Stenzione 87, the pizza place that's by Brickell, and Eating House. And they're putting together packages that they compare to like Blue Apron, where they give you all the ingredients, but then when you get home, you make everything. So it's kind of a fun thing to do together and to put together and to make it more fresh and the way that you want it. So you get all the ingredients and then you can just pick up That's
actually
package.
Brilliant, right? You don't have to go to the grocery store to shop. You get the box, every single ingredient, all fresh ingredients coming from the restaurants, and you go ahead and make your meals.
Nice idea.
That's fantastic. And like you said, especially if it doesn't travel very well, right? Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to do Lainey Rada's 305's Hidden Treasure, and that's all about the New World design. You bet it is.
From this moment on, consumers will expect it and sellers will demand it. Cinematic video walkthroughs for all of your listings. Professional photography, cinematic video walkthroughs, on-camera video tours, and professional voiceover narration. I'm Ernie Emad, head of BlueHourStudios.com. Blue Hour Studios is a progressive visual and audio powerhouse producing high-end video and audio productions. Become an expert in your field with a professionally produced podcast from our studio in Coral Gables. Call Blue Hour Studios today to elevate your image and voice. BlueHourStudios.com.
We're back with more of The Scoop on Miami. Find our podcast on iTunes and on YouTube as a video, our Facebook page, and thescooponmiami.com. While there, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our podcast channel. And now, here's Ernie Emad and Lainey Rada.
We are back to The Scoop on Miami. Don't forget, www.scooponmiami.com, where we're going to have all of our guests. If you missed any of the information specifically for the food box giveaway and the generator a week giveaway from Lifestyle Miami and Miguel Zulueta.
It's lifestyle _ Miami because there's a lot of Miamis and there's a lot of lifestyles. So you got to get that just right.
You got it. So you'll be able to go to our page by the end of the day and link right to them. So now we go into Lainey Rada's 305 Hidden Treasures. She's always coming up with a real hidden treasure of Miami. Tell us a little bit about today's, Lainey.
Well, I think it's hard to notice this when you're just walking along downtown on Biscayne Boulevard. It's really, the impact is from a higher viewpoint, and that's why you'll see the pictures. We always have our show on the regular podcasts to listen to, but we also always have the visual version that you can see the people and see the studio and then see some of these things on YouTube. So if you look up New World Design, you might be able to find this, but you can hear all about it now.
So let's go to 305's Hidden Treasures.
And now it's time for the 305. The 305 Hidden Treasures. Hidden Treasures with Lainey Rada.
For 20 years, there was a geometric design of bricks being patterned and pressed into the sidewalks of Biscayne Boulevard from Southeast 2nd Street to Northeast 13th Street. Derived from convex shapes, we can thank artist Roberto Burl Marx. The job was approved in 1988 and commissioned by the New World Foundation. It's called the New World Design. Marx was a famous landscape designer and artist born in Sao Paulo. His parents were French and German, and he moved there in 1913. He created a modern grammar inspired by nature. He was an interesting artist and created in many mediums. He's credited for having introduced modernist landscape architecture. He's one of the first people to call for conservation of the Brazilian rainforests. Over 50 plants bear his name. The New World Foundation saw this 10 blocks to be the city's grand entrance. Under the direction of Haruyoshi Ono, it was finally completed in 1994. Marx wasn't alive to see it. The opening ceremony was all Brazilian, complete with samba dancers, capoeira, and Brazilian drummers. There's a similar beach promenade Marx created in Brazil. It really stands out if you're in any of the towering high-rises on Biscayne and look down. This hidden treasure creates a special impression right under our feet, but only if you watch where you're walking.
Years.
It's brick by brick. Those are that design is made by one brick at a time.
That's incredible, huh? Mm-hmm. And if you live in one of these condos, like you were saying, you get a beautiful
great.
view, right? I'll try to get the drone over it and show it in a future show. So that's a nice segment. And Miami is just such a beautiful city with so much to offer. Mm-hmm. So we've come to the end of another Scoop on Miami, and we thank you so much. As every single week, we bring this wonderful program to you, helping broadcast the small businesses in South Florida, as well as exposing you to neat places to go and see.
And our guest next week, we have Robin Farzad. He wrote Hotel Scarface, which is all about the Mutiny Hotel. So I worked there, and I want to hear anybody else's stories and contributions, and it's really exciting to get to have more insight on how he put the book together. Also, we have George Perez from A&M Comics, which is an institution here as well. That is one of the oldest book and collectible stores, it's in South Miami.
We're excited. They've been there so long, and we're going to go film that episode this coming Monday to bring it to you next Friday on the Scoop on Miami. And Lainey's going to bring one of her incredibly valuable collection pieces.
I have no idea. We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. They're going to appraise it for us right on the air.
I don't know.
So that's exciting. Anything else you want to touch on?
That was it.
Again, thank you so much for joining us every single week, and we'll catch you next week on the Scoop on Miami. Take care.
We hope you were entertained, informed, enriched, and proud to live in Miami. We have come to the end of another episode of the Scoop on Miami with your host, Ernie Emad, broker, owner of One Premier International Realty, and Lainey Rada, a leading-edge broker associate with Douglas Elliman. Thank you for riding alongside our journey. If you know of a special person doing wonderful things in our community or want your business featured, visit thescooponmiami.com and contact us. Find The Scoop on Miami on iTunes. Subscribe, share, and like our podcast channel. While there, leave a comment. We'd love to know what you think. And now you have The Scoop on Miami.